Thank you for staying with us here on KTN Prime. Residents of Tana Delta in Tana River County are calling for the revival of the stalled sugar project. The project was launched more than 10 years ago and, however, failed after investors withdrew. Brian George Otieno tells us why.
The vast and lush plains of Tana Delta are not only inviting but hold enormous economic potential. From afar, these are just grazing fields for livestock. 15 years ago, a pilot project for sugar was launched on this 100-acre piece of land by former President Mwai Kibaki. The Tana and Athi Rivers Development Authority had set aside 22,000 hectares of land at the Tana Delta irrigation project in Garsen area that was capable of producing more than 400,000 tons of sugar every year. Over a year later, the land brought forth 180 tons of sugarcane. But all this would be short-lived as priorities shifted and political ambitions drove investors off the project. Locals here left languishing in poverty as their source of income had been cut short. SF Komora, who hails from Isoe village, reminisces the days when he worked in the demonstration farm and had first-hand experience of its economic value to residents.
Waliupiga vita kwa njia ya kupiga vita wenzao kisiasa ili kusudi wao wapate political mileage, lakini watu wa Tana River na watu wa Tana Delta na watu wa sehemu ya hii ya Isoe wawe masikini kwa sababu wao watajirike.
The locals now want the project revived by the national government.
Hata sasa watoto wetu wamekuwa hawana kazi, wanakuingia kwa mihadarati. Watoto wetu wameharibikiwa sababu hakuna chochote cha kujihusisha nacho.
Kwa hivyo tungependa huu mradi ufufuliwe, uanzishwe upya na utupunguzie umaskini Tana Delta.
In 2008, a multinational company, Mart International, was set to invest 10 billion shillings in the project but pulled out due to wrangles by local community, politicians and environmental activists who held the view that the investment would destroy the area's ecosystem. The last that was heard of the project was in June when Tarda Managing Director Stephen Githaiga invited private investors to invest in the sugarcane farming and production in Tana Delta.
This is a unique area, gentlemen, because unlike the Western Belt, the sugar which is growing, maturing at 22 months, here it matures in 10, 11 months. And the cost of production for sugar here is below $300 US.
Brian George Otieno, KTN News.
Now, the Nakuru County economy bloc is slowly recovering in the wake of the pandemic. The county held activities to